Bad Science Sunday, where we take a comedic approach to discrediting bad science on the internet. And today we have, Vandy is the guest tonight, and Bree is my co-host. And then we also have DokDeino as guest. And I'm sorry, Vandy, who do you have as?
We also have my future sister-in-law, Emily. This is not the one that just got married. So my brother got married tonight, my other brother, and this is my not that brother. This is his sister-in-law. So yeah.
Future.
Oh boy.
Future. This is the now only future sister-in-law, right?
Yeah, the only future sister-in-law, because the other one is now my sister-in-law. Yes.
Awesome.
Where
are you? Where are you tonight?
We are in Alnwick.
Yeah.
Anik. It's pronounced Anik. It's ALNWICK, and it's in Northumbria, England. I thought it was.
But they like to delete some certain letters, so it's just Anik.
Yeah.
No,
North.
So they delete the L and the W.
Northumbria, England.
Yep.
Way up north.
Yep.
I've literally
What's the
never
temperature
heard
up
of
there?
it before, but okay.
Me neither. And I've been here for 3 days.
Yeah, it got to 95 here. What's the weather in Northumbria?
A week and a half now.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No, I said it got to 95 in the East Coast. What's it like in Northumbria?
It was pretty good today.
It was windy.
It was really
very
windy. To be fair, we were at a castle on a bluff, so it was very windy there. But the temperature was pretty reasonable. It was 60s.
Nice.
High 60s.
God. Bree, what was the temperature in Texas?
Today was a little bit cooler. I think it was only about 98 or so. But yesterday got up to when we went to the Pride pub crawl, and it was 105 degrees when we left.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Doc, you're landlocked. How's the weather over there?
Well, surprisingly enough, I'm kind of tied with Vandy. It was in the mid to low 60s today, which is the first time it's been this temperature since about April, I think.
Okay, cool. So, we'll start with Bree. Bree, what's the elevator pitch?
Oh, hi, I'm Bree from Hive Sci and the Transpositions. Those are two channels that I run independently from each other. The first one, Hive Sci, I do a weekly show called Live from the Hive, where we debunk and review supernatural claims and cryptozoology and aliens and all that fun stuff. So if you like that sort of stuff, you come over and watch that on Saturday mornings at 9:30 Central. And then the Transpositions is a weekly news show I do with Stephanie Helms, Ember Belrad, and Carly Chardonnay-Webb, where we bring you news as it relates to the transgender communities around the globe. So check that out as well.
So yeah, I know it's been a rough week for the trans community.
Yeah.
How are you holding up?
No, I'm doing this to keep me from thinking about that.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Doc, what's the elevator pitch?
Hello there. I am DokDeino, or DokDeino for short. I like telling people about dinosaurs and other prehistoric critters, including some we're apparently going to be encountering later today. And I'm trying to make content when I can, but it's a little hard at the moment. I've had to put in quite a few hours due to some serious car troubles.
Ugh. And I know your car troubles. You have a lot of car troubles.
Well, recently
so much so that I'm trying to get a new car rather than try and fix this one, because I know another problem is just going to pop up.
Yeah, that's usually how when I decide to get a new car is when it's nice to not have the payment, but when I'd almost rather have a payment and work in a car that I know is going to move when I try to drive it than to have to worry about, I got to save, a couple $100. Oh, wait, now that's going all back in the car and unexpectedly.
Yeah. Now imagine if you didn't live in a city. Imagine if you regularly went out to the middle of nowhere in the desert 10 miles from the nearest road.
That sounds
Because
like
that's
it
what
would
I got to do
suck.
for research.
That sounds like it would suck. So, if you would like to support Bree and DokDeino, all of their links are in there. DokDeino has a GoFundMe, and Bree loves coffee. You should buy her one. It's in the link tree. Or also, actually, Bree has Buy Me a Bug, right?
Yeah, you can buy me a buck. I might spend it on coffee, though. You can't blame me if I do.
You know what? Once they give it to you, it's all yours.
Mine? Yeah.
You have a birthday coming up pretty soon, though, too, right?
Yes, I do. My birthday's next month. I'm going to be turning 37 for the 6th year in a row. It's crazy.
My goodness.
Now
Crazy how that happens.
Right?
Nice. And you don't look a day over 25. How do you do that?
A lot of makeup.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
spackle my face on.
Thank God for Maybelline, right?
I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to turn 50 or 60 so I can grow a pompadour without looking too audacious.
But, I've been seeing quite some audacious looking beards lately. Not saying anything to anyone, in particular. But at least you don't have a neck beard.
I
No.
had a neck beard until earlier today.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Look how trim I
But
am.
here's the thing.
I did notice that, and I was wondering
Okay,
if you actually got a trim or if the bride literally smacked the hair off your face.
That's a good point.
Here's the thing. He no longer looks like a caveman.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, okay. To be fair,
I'm happy when he's happy, but he did
Yeah.
have some caveman vibes going on there.
Maya, that's kind of a lie. You love it when he suffers.
We don't say that to his face. We just throw magnets at him.
You say it all the time.
Oh, hey, now, okay, we can't talk about the No,
I
it's
can neither
early in the
confirm nor
stream.
deny what I say on every stream.
It is 2:41 a.m. where I am. Okay, I am
See,
not.
he clearly loves me.
To deal with that.
A.M. Oh.
Yeah. It's
Wow. Are you saying you're sober too? Look at that.
He's
I'm-
sober.
No,
He's
no, no,
sobering
no,
up.
no.
I'm more sober than I thought I would be.
Yeah.
No. I had a glass of gin and a glass
Yeah,
of whiskey.
you're not sober,
Oh,
but
no,
that's why I'm
no.
gonna keep you off the camera.
Yeah, that's why.
Such a good friend.
Neither one of these people have stayed sober in my presence for longer than 10 minutes. So
They tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Well, for the
That's
first
my
time
story, and
in-
I'm sticking to it.
For the first time in forever since I've been on here, I will not be sober by the end of it. I remembered to bring a drink.
Yes, yes. Protect
Guess
yourself,
what?
kids.
Is that
I'm
for
drinking
Loco?
Gatorade because I drank way too much at the pub
yes.
crawl last night.
Fair
So I'm
enough.
hydrating.
Apparently, due to lawsuits, it no longer has caffeine.
Really?
What?
They
far as I
actually
know.
that changed a few years back, because Four Loko went through a whole thing where it was crazy popular, and a bunch of people got totally shit faced, but also totally jacked because it had a ton of caffeine in it, and
So,
they
no
had
caffeine in
to
this,
remove
just
the
alcohol.
caffeine.
So
Aw.
Wow.
That's lame. You just have to make your own Jaeger bombs. It's fine.
Well, if it had caffeine, I'd be up until 3 a.m.
Yeah, and
no,
tapioca weasel is just what's wrong with that?
Dude's literally at 3 a.m. right now.
Yeah, yeah. Bree, hey, do you have the video?
Did
You're
you want
gonna
to start with my dinosaur video?
No, I want to start with
You wanna start
mine.
with-
It's mine.
You want to
My
start with
show.
yours?
Yeah.
Okay. I will yield to that. Let me grab that real quick
Yeah.
here.
I love getting
While
my
you're doing that, my
Mhm.
phone charger is acting up, so let's see if I can fix that.
Yeah, I try to fix that.
I am not the
Uh-oh.
one sharing the video today, so
You are not. Sure.
oh, harsh.
Okay, here we go. Bree's pretty good at stuff and shit. You really have. What? I need to.
Monetize that. So if somebody wants to,
And then
So
I
if
have
you're
to
looking for a
switch you guys
producer-
around.
yeah. Okay.
No, I have to
You want-
updo.
We're waiting for Doc to get back before we.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Are we good to go then? I can start the video.
You can. I don't know why it's not recognizing him. Did you?
That's
Oh.
me.
Okay, he's just not on screen. Gotcha. All right. So, wait. Oh, it's saying you're offline. Why?
I think he turned his camera off to do whatever he was doing, right?
Okay. Can you? All right. So, I need to.
That's peculiar.
That is weird.
And it says you're offline.
Yeah. No, you're fine. I'm trying to figure out why it's letting me. Okay, you know what? I'll figure this out because we have dead air, and then we can hear you definitely. I will work on us seeing you, and then oh,
There he is.
Oh, now I'm front and center.
you are.
Hey,
Hi.
handsome.
Okay. You can see the chili I have cooking in the background.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that works
I
too.
want chili.
No, you don't.
Let's.
Yeah.
What
I
you
do
mean?
like chili.
I absolutely want chili.
Chili sounds amazing.
Don't indulge him.
I want chili
Mine-
too.
Oh, God damn it.
Mine has.
I'm
I
in
need
West
you guys.
Texas.
I need all of you to
In
focus and get your
2004,
shit together.
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna. Ready for some
My
dinosaurs?
shit is together. BANANAS. Wait, shit.
Just-
South
wait, wait.
Dakota,
trying to
three
figure out
amateur
where this is.
paleontologists discovered.
Do you hear? Is it loud?
No, yeah, it's
Talking
perfect.
about amateur paleontologists.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what-
like I
I'm
was
gonna check
saying,
the volume before I get going.
volume check. Chat, we need your help here. We need you to moan and bitch if the volume is.
Hello.
All right, I don't see any moaning or bitching. All right, party on
Excellent.
Wayne.
Let's go.
Discovered an ancient skull. Nobody could immediately tell what animal it belonged to, so
Oh,
the
for fuck's
finding was
It's
handled.
a dragon.
It's totally a dragon.
It's a
Or an
dragon.
alien.
Right?
Sorry,
Alien
newly
dragon.
found real evidence. Okay, I'm
No,
just
yeah, it's
gonna
real
open the drink.
evidence. Oh, right. Hey, Bree, you got to let Vandy read. Vandy, can you read things?
I mean, I can. She's gonna have to zoom in. So, well,
Just scroll
the
down.
title of the video, is "Newly Found Real Evidence of the Existence of Dragons on Earth." That is the title of the video. The channel is. You're gonna have to zoom in. I can't see it.
It's riddle.
Read the little.
Riddle. I don't know if I can. Hold on. Let me try to
It's
zoom in.
Riddle. It's
There
Riddle.
we
We
go.
have covered
Riddle. We love
before.
Riddle.
Riddle is a
Yeah.
huge channel, and you can tell
Mhm.
because they have 5.66 million subscribers. They're a content mill. Like they have
Yeah.
a whole team. They churn these things out.
Oh, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
whole thing.
Wait,
And
please remind me. Do you guys have drinking rules?
Yes, drink as much as possible, as often as possible. Whatever it takes to dull the pain.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause
And-
that's-
and-
make
and
sure
you
that's still
don't
just getting psychic
actually
damage.
drink bleach.
Yeah, don't drink bleach.
Don't drink
Look,
bleach.
Look, I don't
I have
care
vinegar.
what the sitting president
drink vinegar.
says. That is not advisable.
But this video, hold on, you gotta go back down. We gotta do one more thing. This video from 1 year ago has 286,000 views.
Yeah, a lot of
Horrifying.
No,
people want to
that's
see real
actually-
evidence of dragons.
That's actually not a lot of not very many comments for a video from a channel this size, though.
No,
Look at that.
yeah, channels
Well-
like Riddle do not have a great ratio of comments because
But the thing
they're-
is, they
just
pump
churn 'em
out dozens and dozens of videos in a week. So
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
will
I
tune
say,
in for
like-
what they're interested in and
Yeah.
disregard everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like cultivating 10 niche audiences for one big channel.
Is this the scene from Jurassic Park where they're digging the
Yes.
raptor out, though?
I think the
such
guy
an
just pulled his nose out of
unrealistic-looking
its
fossil.
nose hole.
Isn't that the
Mhm.
most unrealistic looking fossil?
Not the most, but
Yeah,
it's not great.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they spent their budget
I
on a lot of
shouldn't
other
use
things.
that moniker when we all are familiar with the entity that is Carl Baugh.
Fuck that
The
guy, though,
entity
right?
that is
Am I right?
Carl Baugh, though, it is kind of weird, though, because they were consulting with some museums that could have loaned some casts, but whatever. It's all right.
over to the Children's Museum
there's
of
a nozzle.
Indianapolis, where it collected dust for 2 years. Despite all attempts to determine its owner, experts couldn't confirm the skull's relation to...
That's literally just showing the scene from Jurassic Park. Oh, there's where the helicopter shows up and blows the sand all over the place.
Look, Riddle
Yes,
Riddle
I
has
want to
two
know
modes.
the rest of what he says, though.
Yeah, Riddle has two modes. It's either ripping off other what do you call it? Movies. You all may remember Riddle from like a year and a half ago when they were ripping off what was that, Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant. Thank you.
Oh, it wasn't Crystal Skull? Crystal Skull might have been a
So the
different
one
video.
from a year and a half ago when we had Jay and Eric from Skeptic
we've
and
done Crystal
Scoundrels,
Skull.
that was the one with the Ark of the Covenant. That, I mean, they just ripped off the entire movie. It was insane. And then their second mode is AI. And we're all surprised. Shock, awe.
Bree, can you use the plus key to increase the size of the closed captions, and then you can also press O to increase the opacity so that it's a little bit more visible.
Is that better? I can go up one more size. It should be.
Yeah, and now press O.
O.
I think it's there we go.
Did it look better like that?
Yeah, like that.
Right. Anyway, before you press play, so they're saying, just because I'm curious about what their full statement's going to be, scientists could not confirm the skull's relation to any known animal species. I'm going to have a lot to say when he's done talking.
All right, so let's go back to the beginning of the... Let's go back to the beginning of the sentence just so Doc can do a proper rant.
Yeah, I want to get the full statement.
So the finding was handed over to the Children's Museum of Indianapolis, where it collected dust for 2 years. Despite all attempts to determine its owner, experts couldn't confirm the skull's relation to any known animal species. Young visitors of the museum named it Dragonsaurus hogwartsia because it looks very similar to a magic...
So, first thing, couldn't confirm its relation to any known animal. The instant we found it, we knew what it was.
Okay, so, what is it? What are we talking about?
So Dracorex is a... Bree, do you want to say the name of the group?
The Pachycephalosaurus.
Hey.
Well, it's a Pachycephalosaur.
Forget the S on the end of it, because that's the clade.
So it's a hard-headed dinosaur. They famously, you see them in children's books and media, always smacking their heads. There's some debate on how they did that. But they had crash helmet heads for a reason. They basically had maces for skulls. And while Dracorex is a unique skull, it's absolutely within the range we see for its relatives, and it's impossible to mistake it for anything else. Famously, a lot of Pachycephalosaurs, if you watch Gutsick Gibbon, you'll have heard of the foramen magnum, the hole in the base of the skull.
Yeah.
With humans, it's on the base, the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Same thing with Pachycephalosaurs. Unlike every other dinosaur where it comes in from the back, it comes in from below. There's also features in the teeth, and the beak, and just the inner structures of the skull in the brain case, because pretty sure we have a good brain case from Dracorex. Just, we knew what it was. The debate we've had is over whether or not it belongs to a unique species or not. But that's an entire saga. Long story short, it's absolutely a dinosaur. Whatever you call it.
So,
and we know what kind, too.
I have actually a question for you about this. So my understanding was that this is a stage of development for Pachycephalosaurus when they get the big horns and spikes on their heads. The same species will have different stages of development without so much, what do you call it? Accoutrement or whatever, without so much decorations.
Sort of, yeah.
Accoutrements, there you go. Thank you.
So the current leading hypothesis is that Dracorex is the youngest example we have of a Pachycephalosaurus. If it's not Pachycephalosaurus itself, it's a very closely related species. And Dracorex and Stygimoloch, another Pachycephalosaur, show the juvenile and adolescent forms of some adult large pachycephalosaur. If you look at the skull of Dracorex, you'll see it's relatively flat on top with a lot of spikes. Then, in the next stage, Stygimoloch, the spikes are relatively smaller, and it has a growing bump on the back of its head. Then finally, with Pachycephalosaurus, the spikes have fully shrunk down relative to the skull. In absolute size, they're pretty close. And the dome on top is really huge. There are a lot of hypotheses for this. Chief among them is that if you're covered in spikes, it's hard for a predator to swallow you or bite your face. And also,
Fair
a young
enough.
animal, like a smaller animal, can make use of sharp spikes for defense easier than it can a blunt object. Because, keep in mind, Dracorex would have been about the size of a large sheep, and Pachycephalosaurus was like the size of a modern bison. So there's a pretty big change here.
Yeah.
So you'd expect to see big changes. And very in-depth studies of the bones at a cellular level has shown active change from one stage to another. It's very well understood and really cool. And the cooler thing about it to me is that Pachycephalosaurus is just one example of this happening in dinosaurs. All kinds of dinosaurs do crazy stuff like this. It's cool. But
That's super
enough
cool.
about me. That's enough about that. What's he gonna say now?
Bree, did you want to add anything?
I was thinking instead of having spikes as a neoteny is something we see at least in amphibians and stuff when they first develop. So it is ecologically sound.
Humans are actually a example of neoteny as well, correct?
Yeah, like neonatic apes.
We have
Yeah.
retained neoteny, where adults retain juvenile features. What Bree's talking about is how the Sorry, am I pointing at Bree?
Yes.
What Bree's talking about is when they're juveniles, they look significantly different.
Different than
shape
okay.
from the
Yeah.
adults.
Actually,
young ones have
right,
spikes,
right.
big ones have domes.
So okay, I get what you're saying. That there have been a lot of dinosaurs that we thought were different species when they were just younger versions of older things, whereas
Several, yeah.
humans retain neoteny traits or whatever our entire life.
Actually, if Vandy tilts his head down a bit, that actually
Don't
shows a pretty good
pay
difference
any
between a young
attention.
male and a very old male.
I figure if I'm
He's
gonna
just
be
trying to
already
get
like captured on
attention.
stuff, I might as well just do the whole thing and go full bore. So I'm putting
Look,
on my tie and everything.
Vandy can't
Oh, okay.
stand
Sorry,
not
Vandy.
being the stir of attention. So, like, if you don't give him any, it'll drive him nuts and it'll make me happy.
I got distracted.
But at any rate,
You're looking very dapper, Vandy.
within us humans,
Stop
like,
it!
males
God
will
damn
typically
it!
grow beards and more body hair, where females will grow breasts and wider hips. You change as you get older.
You do.
Sorry.
You do.
An excuse to bounce my boobies on the cameras. I'm going to take it.
Sorry. Here, let's get full booby from Bree.
yeah.
All right.
There you go.
All right. There
Are
you
you
go, boy.
ready?
We're ready.
Bizarre outgrowths on its skull fuel debates between scientists, make them wonder what kind of animal it really is. But most experts agree it's a baby animal. At the same time, judging by the size of the skull, the creature had to be at least 3 meters long. Just imagine how huge it was going to be as an adult.
Game of Thrones.
3 meters, I think, is a little on the bigger end of estimates, because all we really have is a skull.
Yeah.
But with that said, a 3 meter long dinosaur isn't as big as you think it is.
It's not
Because
that big.
dinosaurs
3
are
meters isn't.
excessively long.
Yeah, that's not very long.
Like
Almost
half that-
serpentine.
Yeah, more than half of that length is tail, especially for a pachycephalosaur. When I said it was the size of a sheep, I meant it was about the size of a sheep.
Mm-hmm.
The skull itself would, I think, fit about here. It's not big. And then the adults are significantly more massive.
Yeah, Bree is rocking that hair.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Furthermore, in 2017, a complete skeleton of a similar beast was found in China. Meanwhile, in Alaska, experts found
Sorry, what?
one of its feathers. But the most unbelievable thing is...
Which
Go for it.
part?
I'm sorry, what?
Wait, what? What are we
You
waiting
can
about?
rewind it.
It said
Yeah,
a nearly complete skeleton was found in China, and then feathers.
is that experts found one of its feathers. But the most unbelievable...
No.
That sounds wrong.
What is that all about?
I have no
Feathers?
idea. I
For real?
want to say we have Chinese pachycephalosaurs, but we have never found a pachycephalosaur with feather impressions. It's not impossible for them to have had quills. We have very primitive relatives of theirs that had quills, which you could call feathers, I guess, but no. And it wasn't found in Alaska. That one was found in China. This just doesn't make any sense. He's making shit up or he's confusing things.
So, do we
Right.
have do ornithosaurs? Do they even have real feathers, like at all in the fossil record? Like, what would be real
Ornithischians, the
feathers?
plant-eating dinosaurs, yes. We do have some that have feathers.
Okay.
Probably the most well-preserved one is called Calindodromeus. It's a small herbivore from Russia. And over half of its body is preserved with these really cute, fluffy feathers.
Oh,
And
like downy feathers.
feathers.
Mm.
Actually, Maya, since you
Union
like
feathers.
cute, fluffy things, I can show a picture of it.
Luposaurus!
Yeah. This is just what it looked like. We have the skin impressions from all over the body.
Okay.
All right,
I was
so
wrong. I'd always thought that true feathers developed in theropoda, and that there were.
They may be basal to all archosaurs, is the
Yeah.
crazy thing. Because we have them in theropods, ornithischians, pterosaurs, and maybe crocodilians.
Feathery crocodilian sounds amazing.
really, that's wow. Okay,
It's
I
not based
didn't-
on fossil evidence, it's based on genetics.
Mm.
But there have been genetic studies, and I'll just show the other fluffy ornithischian here. We have found that by
What?
turning off a couple regulatory genes in alligator embryos, they will develop feathers.
Interesting. Oh,
And-
so I did a Google on
Okay.
Pachycephalosaurus feathers, and the AI says, while no direct fossil evidence of feathers has been found on Pachycephalosaurs, it's possible they had feather-like structures or quills, especially on their tails, based on related dinosaurs. The presence
This is the related dinosaur, this one right here. This is
Yep.
Psittactosaurus.
And this is the one that we have the cloaca fossil.
Yes, that's what this art is showing off.
right. So we don't know what the fuck the guy is talking about because
I'm a
This is what-
paleontologist and I don't have a fuck what he's talking about.
all right. Well, in the
Neither does
meantime,
he.
Dr. Michael Jemison Vandergraaf, I say, that package of attention is,
I do declare,
Yeah.
sir.
yeah.
You are looking
Here's
quite
all that attention
dapper
you ordered,
tonight.
sir.
There we go. Thank you for all that attention. I
So for $2, Jester says, Bree is on Doc 2. But who is that guy in the white? I don't know what guy you're talking about. Bree's
mostly in black.
gonna
Yeah.
press the play button.
Yes. Let's go.
is that these animals quite possibly lived alongside our distant ancestors who even depicted them in art. Petroglyphs found in Canada
Wait. Oh.
Oh.
Is this what
These
you were
was my
talking about
favorite.
earlier, Doc?
No, mine are from South Africa.
Ah,
Dino.
sorry.
Look at that.
Every time we have
Every
Doc
time,
on.
I know.
Well,
just have
it's
too many
only yours
doctors
because I also
on.
have the name of the other
Such a
guest on here
problem.
too.
No, it's going to be a bunch of doctors and me next week. It's going to be, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. I
I'm
will
going to make
be
them
the
call
last.
me Doc.
I will be the last PhD or non-PhD guest of the month of June.
in
No,
the U.S.
I don't have a
still me.
PhD.
You're not a guest.
I'm not a guest. Fair enough.
Oh,
Fair
okay.
enough.
But what are these animals? Could they really have roamed the land a long time ago? There are already 6 videos dedicated to extinct animals on my channel, but I'm sure this is something you didn't expect to see.
Could you use media that's not from a movie? There's a lot of good dinosaur media.
I mean, he
In
can do AI
Canada,
art.
experts found
There is a lot of good 3D renderings of dinosaurs that you can use too. A lot of cool content
lot
for
of
But why would
museums.
you do that when there's so many movies of CGI dinos?
Because they don't look right, I guess. To me, that's why I would do that. But to these people, it's content mill.
Brie. See, this is why you have just as few viewers as I do. You're just not in tune with art of the grift.
Yeah, I need to start being more affirming to the existence of Jurassic Park style
a
dinosaurs.
petroglyph made by the indigenous tribe of
is you need to tell people that if they suffer a personal injury claim, then they need to call Vandy, Adkison, and Bree over, and of course DokDeino. We do personal injury law. We don't actually. It's illegal to present yourself as a lawyer when you're not a lawyer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're wearing the right suit
Absolutely,
for it, though. And
Exactly.
if the cop asks you where you're going tonight, what do you say?
I'm in my bed. I'm sleeping in this thing.
Maya knows the answer.
But what I say is I don't answer questions,
Yeah,
for the record.
you shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
There
you know
we
why?
go.
Because it's Shut the Fuck Up Friday, even though it's Monday. here.
Shut the fuck up Sunday.
Yeah, it's always shut the fuck up Friday.
Every day is Shut the Fuck Up Friday.
Every day is shut the fuck up Friday.
the Anasazi over 2,000 years ago. It depicts a creature resembling a giant lizard. An image.
Hey, can I clarify something that they said here?
Southwest?
Yeah, I want to clarify that Anasazi is not like a people. It's what the Navajo, or they don't even like to be called the Navajo anymore. They like to be called the Dene. What the Dene people called the people that built the pueblos up in Utah, and it means ancient enemy. It's not what they were called or what they called themselves. It's a Dene insult to the people who built those houses. The ancient cliff dwellings, and they're not in Canada, not even close to Canada. Utah, Colorado, New Mexico.
Interesting.
I was going to say that sounded. I learned about that in a Mini Minuteman video. I remember because he did that trek throughout the Southwest.
Milo, I love Milo. He's so great.
I do. I loved
Yeah.
his. He had a series on like where he spun the wheel and did the not the cryptid.
I hope he
but
brings
like
it back.
I know.
Yeah,
I love
like-
those debunking. Well, can you imagine that I love debunking videos?
Yeah, Milo inspires us to what me and Maya do on our channel. So
yes.
very
When
much.
I grow up, I want to be just like that 23-year-old boy.
Yeah.
So
All right, let's find.
that's with this painting. One, I
This is
don't
a
know
bird.
what it is, but two, if I had to guess, honestly, I could see a turkey because some turkeys have a little snood.
I think that
Okay.
this one, the professionals on this one, I think it may be a crane,
I
but
could see that too.
it has been vandalized though.
Oh, that's sad.
So
What?
what it
man.
originally looked, some of the parts of what it originally looked like are not clear, which leads to a lot of speculation.
That sucks.
Humans suck.
We do.
Of a similar reptile was seen in the San Rafael Swell, Utah. Only this time, it had wings. That rock art was created by one of the indigenous tribes around 4,000 years
Okay.
ago.
Sorry, just you can't point to two drawings that have a tail and say they're similar creatures. Literally, almost every vertebrate except a human has an external tail. Like it's,
It's an ancestral feature of all tetrapods.
yeah.
Indeed.
And not only that, just this script really feels like it was written by an AI, and a pretty bad one at that.
Oh yeah. That's
throw
a
that out there.
feature. It's it really is a feature of a riddle. Oh, what do you call it? Videos, or all of their videos. It's like bad AI, and why even clean it up? Just hit the, what do you call it? Put it into the voice generator, let it go.
Yeah,
But
but
for $2.22, my unfinished journey says, "Hail Maya and gang, hail the Pachycephalosaurus."
the winged Pachycephalosaurus, because it's got wings now, thanks to cave art.
Oh, indeed, hail the dinosaurs that definitely roamed with the humans, thanks to my unfinished journey.
The fastest dinosaur to ever live could fly. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's called Peregrine Falcon.
It is. You're so smart, Doc.
You want to know what one of the fastest running non-avian dinosaurs was?
Fastest running non-avian dinosaur. I don't want to. Was it Ornithomimus?
Teenage Tyrannosaurus Rex is
Oh,
consistently estimated as one of the fastest non-avian dinosaurs,
Interesting.
and it's terrifying.
That's he's OP across the board. T-Rex was OP. Well, Tyrannosaurs were OP. The whole damn clade of them.
Yeah.
To examine it closely, you'll notice that the creature on this petroglyph had an elongated head, massive membranous wings, and clawed feet, which makes it look like some unknown dinosaur species. On top of that,
how many toes does it have? How many claws on each foot?
I think I saw 3, but even then, okay, I'm just going to say it. The thing it looks like, if you want to be conspiratorial, is something called Quetzalcoatlus, which, 1, is not known from this area, 2, went extinct 66 million years ago, and 3, we had no idea what it looked like until, like, the mid-2000s, or mid-2010s is when we got good skeletons. It doesn't even look like that, because it had 4 toes and a lot of other things, but what?
Here, let me show a picture of it here. I got it. I'm going to switch over which screen I'm sharing. Hold on.
The horrifying giraffe stork.
Oh, the hell is that?
It's Quetzalcoatlus.
I've on here before. It's too big, is what it is.
It's massive. It's tall as a giraffe, and I think it's the biggest skull from any non-marine animal, isn't it?
I want to say yes,
but I actually hate the title. Go ahead.
The worst thing about it is those proportions are right, and so is the size. It's just that bad. It's that bad.
Absolute unit.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, back to pain.
There are other findings indicating that ancient humans met such animals not just once or twice. For example, the Ica stones. In 1966, Dr. Javier Cabrera Darquea
Those are involved with dinosaurs. You know why? Because they're colored with chicken shit.
Yep, they bake them in chicken shit to give them their aged appearance.
Oh my god.
And they were carved with like a little Dremel tool too. Really, really convenient.
And an engraved stone
not
as
a Dremel tool. What Dremel tools were based on, which was dental tools. They were made with dental tools. I should be clear on that. But that's what we call a Dremel now, because they took that technology and used it for rock carving.
From his friend, the motif of the stone was some type of an extinct fish. Since Cabrera had a keen interest in prehistoric items, he started searching for such stones and buying them. As a result, his collection came to number more than 15,000 pieces.
You don't say that when you go out into a place and you're like, hey, I am very interested in buying and spending money on rocks that have carvings on them, that people will produce rocks with carvings on them? I'm shocked.
Right, and they've actually found some of these. They've found the coloring books that they were based on, like the 1960s dinosaur coloring books they were based on.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're just bad on all fronts. Like, they're not even worth debunking. Like, if you want to see these debunked, there's dozens of videos on YouTube. Go ahead.
They're what we
They're
call anacrosauruses. They're not. They look like 1960s dinosaurs, dragging their tails, theropods standing like kangaroos,
sauropods in the water.
And if you want to see a video on them, Mini Minuteman has like I think 5 at least.
Wow, I've only seen one from him, but
that's not all of them are totally. I mean, if you include shorts, he's probably got like 20. But he's definitely hit on the matter. I feel like it's been a main topic. Like he's got at least one that's totally devoted to them.
I think he has one focused on them, but they've come up in other videos.
Yeah, they come up in other videos.
Okay,
yeah, they're worthless.
And Leo has a question for Bree and Vandy here.
Are we a couple from 1924? We're gonna adopt a pro-black baby. Will you be our pro-black baby, Leo?
I don't know what that means, and I am hesitant to endorse that statement because I have no idea what that means, and I feel like it. I already owe reparations. Okay, I don't need to owe more reparations.
Well, Jester says titties 5 times in a row.
There we go.
And for $2.
Are we supposed to flash the camera?
Oh, no, no boobs, no feet, ma'am.
No feet. You're a tyrant.
I've got like 4 layers here. I can't even do that if I tried.
Things. These stones depicted creatures fairly similar to dinosaurs. Moreover, on one of the stones, you can see a human sitting astride this animal.
Dino Riders, Flintstones as a documentary.
Wow. No, this really is just bad AI summary. He hasn't even auto-corrected it. Holy shit.
Yeah. Somebody drew a picture of a human riding a dinosaur. Checkmate, paleontologist.
What sort of dinosaur do you think this is, Doc? Looking at it.
Stegosaurus?
Triceratops ever seen?
Triceratops, yeah.
Where were the Ica stones from?
Peru?
Like where did they come from? Yeah, like what country?
I think Peru.
All right. What Ceratopsins were in Peru?
I can't name a single one from South America.
Not a Triceratops, right? For sure.
No.
If there
weren't connected at the time. There was a series of archipelagos between them, but no.
Yeah, so it's kind of peculiar that of the animals that are going to be depicted in Peru, that we're looking at a Triceratops. Sorry, I just wanted to pick on this one because it has the dude with is that a tomahawk in his hand? Or is it a pipe? Is he smoking?
It had to be smoking a pipe, yeah.
But he also has a fish tail coming out of his head, so I don't know.
He's wearing like a fish as a hat and smoking a pipe.
It's like this Zora from...
Yeah, because obviously that's what you would do when you're riding a Triceratops.
Thank you so much, Stardust Lilith. We love ya.
For $5, Stardust Lilith says, if Weasels can't co-host next week for whatever reason, I vote Kip for co-host. Kip will be here next weekend, come Weasel or not.
To be fair, I was like 99% sure, almost 100% sure that I wasn't going to be here this week. So
I wasn't. 2 hours ago, he was like, if I can make it, will you let me co-host my own show? I was like, no, you can be a guest. Bree's the co-host.
Apparently your audience doesn't want me to co-host, though. They want Kip, which is understandable.
No, that's next week.
So, sorry, I just saw someone in the chat asking Kip if Jesus rode in on a Triceratops. And the funny thing is, there is a really cool dinosaur from that region that he could ride on.
How long was Jesus after the flood? Did the dinosaurs make it that long?
Is it Kamazorosaurus? Did I say that right?
No, it was named something dragon in the name. Or no, it was a Metriacanthosaurid. Canthosaurid 2024. Alpcaracush.
What a fun name that is.
Jesus could ride an Alpcaracush. which is a
animal that is
giant
absolutely
feathered
impossible.
dinosaur.
I think writing Dromaeosaurus would have been the best option.
Dromaeosaurus. Okay.
There's only like
That's what-
one or two that could
What are
really
these
take
things?
weight.
That's from Jurassic
Dromaeosaurus.
Park, right?
Yeah, these are
Those
the
are Jurassic World.
Ew.
Velociraptors.
Oh, please forgive me. Velociraptors?
But these are not
Velo-
anything like what Velociraptors look like.
Yeah, getting the air quotes in frame. Velociraptors. They're Deinonychus. But yeah, this is a picture of Alpkarakush, which was just named last year from Kyrgyzstan, which I know isn't exactly the right area, but it's close. It's closer than Triceratops.
All right.
That is not a ceratopsin at all, though. But yeah, which Dromaeosaurus could have
Something
carried us? Deinonychus might have been able to carry a person. You think? Well, no, it's more like leopard size,
A
right?
young child, yes, not an adult.
Because people appeared after dinosaurs had died out. Therefore, it had to be some other beings that looked like giant reptiles. The authenticity of these stones has been repeatedly
Wait, so does he
questioned.
believe in
Although
both dinosaurs and dragons? Is this not your typical young Earth creationist that thinks that was the same thing? Does he think they're distinct?
Well, it says newly found real evidence of the existence of dragons on Earth. So it sounds like he's conflating them. I could be wrong.
But he just said that dinosaurs went extinct a long time ago, but there was another creature that humans encountered.
Okay.
That looked like dinosaurs. Scary.
So, confusing.
collector Santiago Agurto Calvo reported that he'd personally found such artifacts during excavations around the city of Ica. According to him, he found 2 items in tombs erected by pre-Hispanic cultures. Besides, stories about lizard-like beasts that terrorized our ancestors are present in the folklore of many various nations. Mentions of giant long-tailed or even winged reptiles with large teeth can be found in myths all around the globe. Even the Bible slipped them in. When reading it,
Well, here we go. The Bible says it. For
Well,
the
yeah,
Bible
he's not-
tells me so.
He's not showing dragons, though. He's showing movies.
Yeah, a lot of Game of Thrones. This guy really
Well, I mean,
this
yeah, that
guy
is where you
maybe
find a
makes
lot of
an AI.
dragon footage, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you can't find dragon fossils. Still waiting for him to actually show dragon anything. He's just kind of talking. Period. Yeah, but for $5, Jester says Vandy, Atkinson, and randomly Bree, as opposed to McCoon. No respect. Back to the what is that word?
Maggot corner.
Maggotum corner? Maggotum corner.
It's a slur, and I'm not going to repeat it.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Jester.
Yeah, if you had a law firm, it would be Atkinson, Vandergraff, and McCune. It wouldn't be Atkinson, Vandergraff, and Bree. So Jester was right to some extent.
You're right. I wasn't. I couldn't remember off the top of my head to what extent you also identified publicly with your last name. So.
Well, I mean, she has her last name on there on the screen twice.
Twice,
well,
yeah.
Now I see that, but
Yeah, so I think it should be McCune, Atkinson, and some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I trimmed it down.
we learned that on the 5th day of creation, God made great sea beasts and flying
I do like how for some reason Doc has Hive Psi under his name though. That's
Yeah, I pointed that out.
Oh, well,
Thank you for the plug though. I'm Hive Psi and he's at Dr. Dino, but
I think
we collab a lot.
I think I gave you guys the same link, and then when he came in, I don't know, because remember,
It doesn't matter.
Earlier, you
were
swapped
trying
our
to-
panels for some reason.
Well, because when you guys would come in, you would kick the other one out, and so then I had to make a new link, and then mixed everything around, so I do
Yeah.
apologize for that.
Oh,
So
it's fine. Like I said, I'm on Doc's channel all the time, so you'll find it. You'll find my links there somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Creatures. The word used to denote these animals translates from Biblical Hebrew as a dragon. If we believe the sacred text, humans used to be their neighbors. Maybe they even boarded Noah's Ark and survived the flood. But references to dragons don't only appear in the Bible. Gilgamesh, a hero of
they don't
ancient
appear in the Bible at
Babylonian
all.
mythology, killed an enormous dragon named Humbaba, guarding the gate
I
to
mean,
the cedar
Bree.
forest.
Bree.
And
All right.
I want to point out, and Mr. Vandergraff, who has thorough knowledge in the Bible, not describing dragons at all, from the 2.5 hour stream he did on Dr. Kip's channel talking about dicks.
I mean, it's a fascinating subject.
Dicks are a fascinating subject.
But yeah, no. To reiterate, you know why we translate things to words that are English words when English didn't exist, when literally any of the books of the Bible were written? Because that's how translation works. If these things were dragons, if these things were dinosaurs, we would translate them to dinosaurs. There's a reason we don't.
The curse of
And
Tiamat.
words have meanings.
Yeah, because that's not what they're talking about. They're not talking about dinosaurs. They're talking about mythical creatures, or they're talking about exaggerated to mythical levels of normal creatures. One or the other. They're not talking about dinosaurs.
I mean, shout out to Aaron Ra's video on how the story of St. George and the dragon got blown up over centuries, where it went from what is basically a Nile monitor to a flaming breathed winged beast, and you can see the evolution of it through time.
Yeah, it's like Saint Columba having his encounter with the landlocked seal in the River Ness, and then getting conflated over the years to him catching or trapping the Loch Ness monster into the lake. So yeah, it's the same kind of deal.
I've never heard that story.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it on
seals are found in the river leading to the loch.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it on the stream with it's me, Don Prothero, and Thomas from Wild World, Dave from Captive Desk, and Nikki from Squatch Talk. It's 90 Years of Nessie, and we break all that down.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to point out that the footage he just showed of Gilgamesh is the Marvel character Gilgamesh fighting an alien monster from a really bad Marvel movie.
I never saw a Marvel movie with Gilgamesh. That's hilarious.
It's called The Eternals. Don't watch it. It's bad. It's 4 hours of nothing with a terrible payoff.
It does have Angelina Jolie in it, though.
She was in
What do you do? A lot of actors have been in really bad movies. That's how they make money.
Angelina Jolie's been in a lot of bad movies, in my opinion, but
shade.
Yeah, well, I like her too. I like a hacker. She was the bomb in that, but I don't like those Tomb Raider movies that she was in at all.
Okay, we're not getting into movies.
Saxon epic poem Beowulf ripped out Grendel's arm.
So Leo's asking if you could turn your gain down a bit.
I did, yeah. I read
okay, never mind. Sorry.
Am I good?
To get this dragon's
sometimes.
Hopefully it worked. Can I play?
Yeah.
In the Travels of Marco Polo by the famous explorer, you can find descriptions of long snakes with short clawed hands. However, if anyone gave dragons most of their attention, it must have been the Chinese. In this region...
Hold on, but touch on the Marco Polo thing real quick. So, Marco Polo traveled to the what they call East Indies, they called the East Indies at the time, which would have had a lot of trade with exotic animals and water monitors and other giant monitor lizards were indigenous to the region. So it's not a surprise that he saw snakes with little legs, because a monitor lizard is essentially the closest thing in the closest relative to a snake. They got the forked tongue, the serpentine body, and little bitty legs, especially a water monitor that swims all the time.
But I mean, those regions also have like skinks, which are really long and fat with tiny legs, all kinds of other weird lizards, and Burmese pythons, which the males have tiny vestigial hind legs with claws. This is very easy to explain, no matter which of these valid explanations you choose.
Okay. And we're getting ready to roll into Chinese dragons, and Chinese dragons are nothing like European dragons. Chinese dragons would be closer to like angels than what European dragons are.
At least in the mythologies I've heard of.
Yeah.
That's how they're treated.
Parts of reptiles' bodies were used as medicine or even food. As for European culture, it also has its share of dragon myths. In addition, you can often see these beasts used as heraldic symbols. But even though studying legends and ancient art is exciting, having actual physical evidence is a whole different thing. As you might guess, if folk tales were the only...
What's that from? That's a pretty cool looking dragon. Is that Game of Thrones?
I'm gonna guess Game of Thrones, but I've never actually watched it.
No, I have. I don't think so.
Okay. It might be House of the Dragons, though. Did you watch
I've
that?
never seen House of the Dragons.
Could be a mobile game ad. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good looking dragon, is all I'm trying to say. It's a good looking dragon.
It's a good looking dragon. Yeah, it's very, very well crafted. But we do have Hung for Sure dropping dimes in the chat. $50 Hung for Sure says, heads up, one of my Gong Fu brothers is Bokeem Woodbine, and he just released a song called Sasquatch and the Loch Ness Monster. Sass takes a swim in Loch Ness. Tune is hilarious, and also a Council of Giants. It doesn't sound like a thing. Bokeem Woodbine's got to be over 50 by now. That would be hilarious.
Ah,
it's fun.
Proof of the existence of dragons. I wouldn't be telling you all this. In 2017, residents of the Chinese village of Zhangjiakou stumbled upon a very peculiar thing in a field. That was the
I've seen this one. You're going to love it.
skeleton of an unknown animal, and nobody had any idea where it could come from. The thing reached 18 meters in length and consisted of many segments. It had 2 disproportionately small arms and a skull resembling that of a cow. Some superstitious...
Is this the highest quality this can get? Because I cannot tell.
I can probably... You want to look at it again?
What is it you can't tell?
Yeah.
The pictures are really bad quality because they're...
Well, that's how you know it's a cryptid.
Yeah, cryptids blur cameras. That's true. Let's look at it again, though. Is it... Scroll from
I mean, well, the jury's out on that. Or where do you sit? Do cryptids blur cameras, or just cryptids are blurry?
That's a good question.
Depends on the species.
Volcanolus does.
Oh, hold on. Was I playing the wrong one? Hold on. There we go.
Any idea where it could come from? The thing reached 18 meters in length and consisted of many segments. It had 2 disproportionately small arms and a skull resembling that of a cow. Some superstitious villagers firmly believe they saw...
Fake. Mon completely fake is what I...
It is fake. It's from a parade. I covered it on Live from the Hive at one point, but I don't remember what video it was on. But yeah, it was I found an article where somebody who was familiar with that particular piece. But it's like a mix of taxidermy and artistic flair.
Oh,
well,
that's actually kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. Real dragon. They were so scared to desecrate the thing that they didn't even dare touch the skeleton. The rest of the locals, however, didn't hesitate to straddle it and take photos. Zhangjiakou officials made no comment on the discovery and didn't send the remains for scientific analysis. Eventually, everyone concluded that the skeleton was a movie prop, even though no one could tell what movie it was. The future fate of the finding is unknown because it just disappeared. And it would be the right decision
Yes, someone who's actually covered this story. What are your thoughts on that?
Though these are beef ribs. You can tell by looking at them. Have you all ever eaten ribs before? Has anybody in China ever eaten ribs before? Because those are very clearly beef ribs.
I mean, now you got me wanting beef ribs.
Yeah. And I actually think there's a rib here used for the
I mean, those are fucking
that's
delicious.
that's not a humorous.
right? And the joints joints are kind of blurry. The antlers are from a cervid of some kind, which would be a deer. But yeah, most of this is from beef, though, as you can see.
Nice.
forget
So
the
they didn't
whole
even try
story.
So they didn't even try very hard to fake the skeleton.
This what the intentions of the skeleton wasn't for it to be a fake. It was a decoration for like a Chinese celebration.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and they're just stupid. I
Yeah,
hear
and
you.
they discarded it, and someone stumbled upon it and was like, "Oh, look at this! It's bones of a giant animal." But
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they're just
Maybe it
making
was
shit
just a
up.
prank if similar things weren't found in other parts of the world, too.
like where?
In 2021, in the Australian state of Queensland, scientists unearthed an ancient skeleton fragment that belonged to a flying creature with a 7-meter wingspan and a meter-long skull. On top of that, both the upper and lower jaws contained 40 teeth.
Christ.
I bet you would.
Is that a Ramphorikid skull?
No, that I literally just had to write about this for something. That is a type of pterosaur that's very well understood. It's called an anhinguarid. I think I talked about this on a stream because I looked up.
It wasn't this one. Try again.
I'm looking.
Was it Jurassic? Because it's also
No, it's
toothy.
Cretaceous.
Recapitulate your wisdom.
Yep. It's called Thapungaka. And I remember 'cause I had to
Thapungaka?
ask Mark Reed how to say it.
Is it named after Lady Gaga?
No, it is apparently a combination
Oh,
of
Gaka.
Wanamato words meaning spear mouth.
Cool.
Uh,
I love
This is the
him.
reconstruction of the skull.
You can't
Look at him
boop its
see-
nose. God damn it.
Hey, look at that nose is asking to be booped though. Seriously, what's with that
It
giant
did have
rostrum
a
if he
nice
doesn't want me to
nose
boop him?
God damn it.
But yeah, no, we know what this is. It's very obvious. They're an extremely well-known group of pterosaurs.
Did they have a 7-meter wingspan though? It doesn't look like 7 meters. It looks more like
Some of them,
3 meters.
yes. Some of them could absolutely get up to that size. That's
Okay.
large for the group, but it's not unheard of at all. Trying to find a good size photo, but I'm having trouble. But no, it's absolutely within the realm of possibility. It's like these are a known
Okay.
quantity. I'm not sure how else to put it.
and they're super cool.
They are pretty cool. Like, we found these things on every continent. They were probably incredible gliders that could travel between continents when they needed to. If you've ever seen the original Walking with Dinosaurs, one of the episodes was based on one of these animals called
one.
Ornithopterus.
Yes, the old man that he dies at the end, but
Yeah. And he's called Ornithopterus in the episode, but he's based on something that is now called, I think I saw it in here, Tropeognathus, which is one of the larger members of the group.
what's the
Of
wingspan?
30 plus feet.
Okay, 8 meters. Damn.
Yeah, some of them got
Here-
pretty big.
Wow.
It's funny how Dr. Dino pretends to be a scientist, but he uses feet and inches and stuff like that, like some kind of American.
Because
No.
he
Yo-
did,
yo-
and you
yo,
asked me
Being
about
an
21
American scientist is rough, okay? It's rough. Like when I buy stuff, I buy it and it's in fractions of an inch.
Yeah, like this is what, 25.5 feet, Tap?
You're making the conversions.
You're trying to do
Well, no,
conversions in your
it's
head? Holy shit.
closer to 26 something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I
Okay,
don't. I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
know.
Wow,
Pricing calculator
that's
button.
insane. It is
8
26.25
times 3.28.
26.25 feet.
feet.
Yeah.
So just over
As long as
26
it's killer whale.
Yeah,
That's
Weirdly
except it
enough,
probably weighed like 30 pounds.
the conversion I know is between inches and millimeters. Because
You don't
that's
know
what
nobody. No,
meters and
I work.
feet?
we're okay. You know what? You're getting
Well, I
pedantic
mean,
again.
millimeters is
Fancy
just
meeting
what
this
centimeters is
beast
divided by
face to face.
times 10. That's 25.4 per inch.
I know that yards and meters are pretty close, and
I
that's
know
what I
that math
use.
is boring. Plus the play
But
button.
there's 3 feet in a yard, so meters about that.
Wow.
Archaeologists believe that the neck of this animal was incredibly long, while the body was compact. Most likely, that was a rare species
Neck is
of
wrong,
flying
no.
reptile called.
Neck
Not
is
a particularly long neck. Ahanguerids had relatively short necks for pterosaurs, and actually, I think some of them are hypothesized to have been macro predators. Well, not macro, but they would have preyed on larger prey than most other pterosaurs. Like it's no.
They sure
No.
have some. They sure have some piscivore looking teeth.
Well, those teeth are just good for grabbing anything smaller than you, but
You know,
fish are a common target.
well, because they're slippery, yeah. So they
Exactly.
get all the uh-huh.
where I'm from.
Anangera. They lived about 112 million years ago and
So is your mom.
presumably fed on fish. In any case, their jaws were clearly made to catch prey. They were the first vertebrates that learned how to fly. And even though scientists suggest that Anangera inhabited all the continents, finding their remains is nearly impossible. Throughout all of history, archaeologists have discovered only skeleton fragments, mainly jaws.
Literally, none of what he just said is true. God damn.
It's crazy to say we've only found skeletons of dinosaurs. What else is he or not dinosaurs, of pterosaurs? What is he expecting us to find?
He says
If not-
fragments. Not true. We have nearly complete skeletons of several Anhanguerids. Second, Anhanguerids were not the first flying reptiles or vertebrates. Those were more basal pterosaurs that they evolved from. Third, they have been found on every continent, and just
Free.
pain. Everything he said was wrong.
Yeah.
Left is right.
But the
left is down,
strange-
north
We,
is- so,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. We often deal with that here.
I'm gonna speed him up just a little bit.
Yeah. Be
Oh,
our guest.
Jesus.
Because I want to hear more wrong stuff to trigger Dr. Dino.
Oh, Bree loves it.
The most interesting feature common to the species is a big palatal ridge on the upper and lower jaws. According to one version, those ridges helped Anangera maintain balance while flying.
Not
In
the
addition,
palate.
scientists admit that this
Wait, what?
feature
That's not the
pa-
palate.
The palate on the inside, right? It's the
Yeah.
rostrum.
God. It's either the rostrum or, well, nasal?
Nearest? I think it's the rostrum would be the right word, though, I think.
really makes them very
Rostrum was a
similar to
thing
mythical
with
dragons.
ornithischian
Furthermore, there's a
dinosaurs.
finding serving as indirect proof that these
It's not a thing? I don't know. You're the
It's a thing with ornithischian dinosaurs. They have a specific bone called the rostral that is unique to them.
yeah. Well, rostrum it is related to the rostrum. Is that not the right word?
It depends on the context. When you're talking about anatomy, it refers to as... It really depends. When you're talking about bones, it's a very specific bone.
Look, Bree, his brain has clearly been broken from all the wrong he just heard.
I'm not broken. I'm just in pain.
This is proof. You see the word proof on the screen, Doc.
No, I
animals
don't.
could have
I'm looking
existed at the
skull
same time
bones.
as mammoths,
No,
and
she's got a
perhaps
point.
even humans.
Now we're talking about mammoths for some reason.
Okay,
Where the
never
fuck
mind.
did this
It's an
come from?
extension of the... I forgot how cursed pterosaurs are. It's an extension of the premaxilla.
Okay.
That's what their nose
That's right
crest
here.
is.
That's just right here.
You
right
don't
below our
have
nose. Well, the
you
premaxilla
don't
is
have
like
a premax.
the would be like right here, right? Like ours is with the cartilage that we have up inside our nose.
No, you
what-
just don't have one.
Well, but we're all tetrapods, right? So what develops into the premaxilla in archosaurs and synapsids is going to be what develops into the cartilaginous tissue,
Well,
right? Embryologically.
Don't even know
Okay.
if we grow any of it. I don't know. But, sorry,
Okay.
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry
but
too. I need to
know
stop
humans
talking
do
out of
not
my
have a
ass.
premax.
I'm not sure. But I need to. I'm making a lot of assumptions. But suddenly we have mammoths on the screen, and I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Also, I think my phone charger might be broken, and I really hope it's not.
Are you on a phone?
No, but it's gained 11% power in the whole time we've been streaming.
Okay, so we got the word proof here, and then all of a sudden we jumped to a picture of mammoth, and I don't understand why. So I went back 5 seconds, and we're going to listen to this again and find out what the hell mammoths have to do with pterosaurs.
These animals could have existed at the same time as mammoths, and perhaps even humans. When John Reeves was working with another mammoth tusk around 10 years ago, he couldn't have predicted that he was about to find something that would overshadow everything he'd discovered before. This gold miner owns a parcel of land called the Boneyard. It's situated in Alaska, where, due to permafrost, remains of the Pleistocene fauna are preserved in pristine condition. The region's climate is favorable enough to let both bones and soft tissues survive through
Which is really cool. I don't want to downplay how cool this area is because they used to find mammoth tusk with like the meat and stuff still on the end of them, still
wow.
blood.
God.
Really, really neat stuff. Mhm.
Okay, but I'm curious what he's gonna say.
There's gonna be a dinosaur in here, don't you know?
Somewhere. We're a dragon.
Actually,
we're
Or
finding
an alien.
We're an
Actually,
alien.
Jillian quoted him as saying mammoths and perhaps even humans. We have found human remains in Alaska. I don't think it was in permafrost, but it was in a glacier. It was a
Were they
couple
riding a
hundred years
dinosaur and
old, I
smoking a
believe,
pipe?
and well, it was from a couple hundred years ago in the glacier, and the remains were returned to the tribe that the person belonged to and given a proper burial, and I think that's really neat. Sorry, just little thing.
No dragons though.
No.
the eras. After mammoth tusks are extracted from the ground, they need to undergo restoration. The fossils are left to dry with hose clamps on so that they won't crack and deform. Unsuspecting, John was busy attaching clamps to yet another tusk that had been taken from a depth of around 20 meters, when suddenly something unbelievable happened. Right inside the tusk, the gold miners saw a blue feather. How could it have gotten there in the first place? Reeves was stunned beyond belief as he...
A blue feather?
Okay, sorry, the subtitle said balloon feather, and I was confused, but...
Yeah.
And a feather could get there easily. They float around all the time.
Yeah, there's the whole wrap around. The bookends of Forrest Gump. Yeah, except for with the mammoth.
spent years building up his rare collection and never encountered anything like that. He calls this feather the most remarkable item he's ever found, although paleontologists say there were no birds with blue feathers in Alaska during the Ice Age.
We would never say that! That's so stupid!
What happened?
What? Paleontologists say there were no birds with blue feathers in Alaska during the Ice Age. That is
There's literally
an absurdly stupid statement that nobody would ever say.
Does anybody know
What are
about
you talking about
Stellar's journey into the up of the west coast of North America? Because there's a blue jay that lives in Alaska named after him called the Stellar blue jay, which is unique to Alaska and it has probably lived there for tens of thousands of years. It's a beautiful bird. Look it up if you haven't ever seen one. It's got a black head, but
Not even
a
blue
long
jays.
blue jay.
So many birds get blue feathers because they're
Yeah.
pretty, and birds like pretty things. Like
They really do.
that is
They
such
really
a
do.
brain dead statement. Sorry, that actually hurt me.
Oh,
At the
there's
same time,
more.
John's treasure is so small that it can't even be carbon tested, as this procedure will simply turn the feather
Bullshit.
into dust. This little thing may be
Turn the
Bullshit.
feather into dust.
We can run carbon dating on samples that are, I want to say, micrograms now. We can absolutely do it with a feather.
Right. I don't think you would
It's
even
not-
need to do that. I think you could just take this to an ornithologist and they'd be able to tell you, looking at it, what kind of bird it came from without having to do any kind of test.
Might be tough, but I could see someone doing it. And honestly, the reason why someone might refuse to date this is one, they're just afraid it'll be destroyed. And you know what? Fair enough. It can happen. Or two, it's been contaminated, which is extremely common with glacial deposits in permafrost because they melt and refreeze and they get contaminated all the goddamn time. That's why we don't have a complete mammoth genome despite having hundreds of frozen mammoths.
But didn't you know that they restored dire wolves, though? They brought them back.
Shut up! I know what you think about that. No.
to unraveling the mystery of the creatures currently known only as folkloric characters. But let's imagine that dragons did exist. How real could they be from a biological perspective? Could those giant reptiles
We're just dropping the feather there? Like, that's it? No explanation of why the
Apparently.
dragon had feathers?
I guess dragons had blue feathers.
How did they get away with this? Game of Thrones is some intellectual property right here, right? And they just got Daenerys up here burning down King's Landing.
Right, over and over again from every angle of the show. And yet somehow when we cover more than 5 minutes of AIG, my channel gets, or my video gets yanked. So
Well, they're being very
it's a
careful with
mystery.
their editing. They're only showing 2 or 3 seconds at most. They're very careful with that. That's not, especially since they're rarely using audio from the clips themselves. It's harder
they're
for the
not
bots
using
to
any
pick it up.
audio.
They don't use
and
the audio. Yeah, that's true.
It's probably why the AI is not picking up on it. But yeah, if anybody wanted to like fuck with them, like I don't know, they do this a lot though. They
no.
probably have about 5 minutes of what do you call it? Total content from any given movie that they choose to focus on.
Yeah,
Or
but it's
video.
not strung together in a cohesive way. So
Yeah.
I don't think you'd have a case for it other than just normal YouTube taking down. But even
Yeah,
then,
I mean,
even
I
if
don't
you
know. I
take
never
it
think
down-
that AIG has a coherent case for it, but
No, they
Oh, no, they
don't.
don't. They're just
AIG
assholes.
has way less of a case because when people like us cover AIG, we are literally doing it under fair
Under fair
use. Like
use, yeah.
it is criticism and commentary. They're not using it for criticism or commentary. They're using it to show a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this illustrates our point. Like we should just whatever.
And at
do
least
all the stuff they
post here is kind of interesting. Like, how plausible are dragons from a biological perspective? Like, to a degree, they're possible, but not to the size you see in fantasy, and they probably couldn't breathe fire. But a flying tetrapod? Yeah, those exist.
I mean, this is technically a hexapod. Well, it depends on the type of dragon, I guess. A wyvern is a...
I think this one is a tetrapod.
Oh.
Yeah, it
do
depends
in
on
the legends. Chinese, Japanese, and ancient Greek myths describe dragons as ferocious aquatic monsters. However, the largest underwater animals known to science are mammals. Whales, walruses, seals, and dolphins are born with the necessary set of biological attributes to be able to live in or near water. Dragons, in turn, are definitely not mammals, and judging by the folk tales and archaeological findings, they're much closer to dinosaurs.
What
Plus,
archaeological
among different types
findings?
of prehistoric
What was the point of that?
Draco Rex Hogwartsy is the archaeological finding, I think. That's
Oh my god.
No,
But
why
that's more
did
of
he
a
go on a
paleo-
tangent about marine mammals?
I'm still trying to figure that one out too.
That's what's confusing me.
I mean, so many things are confusing me.
Dragons aren't mammals. What?
This is a script made by a bad AI is your answer, but it's still... Even AI usually has some logic that it follows.
Oh yeah, Brie was telling us about her AI. Was that last night? You were going through that?
Yeah, that was telling us about that they have the Chat GPT now has access to YouTube transcripts, so you can it'll actually tell you about different YouTubers and stuff they talk about. So
Fabulous.
it did.
And Bree's Chat GPT knows that the tapioca weasels love eating babies. Who knew?
That's lore now. Much lore. Are you going to eat a baby now in celebration of your brother's wedding?
Right. Oh, did you have baby eating as part of the ceremony, as is per atheist court protocol?
My mom's a Christian. She wouldn't allow that.
But you're a weasel. It's a your family is a business. She has to follow the laws.
Protocol.
We're a confusion.
You're a confusion of weasels. Okay.
It is true. Oh. So true.
Prehistoric lizards. There were also marine beasts. For example, Plesiosaurus. Its wide barrel-shaped torso and smooth skin with no scales helped it easily maneuver through the ocean. Very long neck and a small head let the animal quietly approach fish, which see a threat only in big-sized
I'm just
objects.
going to say no, they had scales and move on. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Thanks to its short tail and 4 flippers, this predator could almost fly underwater. When the Plesiosaurus fell off the radar, its place was taken by Mosasaurus. This carnivorous reptile also had a streamlined body but a
Mosasaurus and Plesiosaurus coexisted to the end of the Cretaceous. Buddy?
Plesiosaurus.
I think he's getting confused the plesiosaur timeline with the ichthyosaur timeline, maybe? I don't know.
Either that or pliosaurs, but I mean, granted, Plesiosaurus did not live with Mosasaurs. That's an early Jurassic genus, but still no. Also, hey, at least he's taking something from a good documentary. This is from Prehistoric Planet. Go watch it. Learn things about dinosaurs.
Like that this thing on the screen is a lizard.
Wait, if you learn things, wouldn't that fuck with your grift? Could you still get money then?
I'm not in it for the money. That's what scares them most. If I wanted to make money from fossils, I very easily could, but I have a moral disagreement with doing so.
Well, yeah, clearly. But, he certainly doesn't. And I'm concerned that he won't learn
I hope he goes to jail, so I don't have to listen to him anymore.
larger head, short neck, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. Now, this looks more dragonish. Mosasaurus didn't use its flippers while swimming. Instead, it moved in the water by beating its tail back and forth and curving its spine from side to side. Predators of this kind don't sneak behind their prey, but rather chase it and then attack. Therefore, water...
Based on what?
It's trying to differentiate Mosasaur as a pursuit predator? On what grounds? It's a lizard. Are there any lizards that exist that are pursuit predators?
Weirdly enough, mosasaurs are the one possibility for that because they're warm-blooded. But still, no.
That's an interesting thing about varanids in general, or monitor lizards in general, is they have extra partial chamber to their heart that other lizards don't have.
Well, for most lizards, the issue is how they breathe. Their breathing is tied to the motion of their ribs, but so is their motion because they swing from side to side. So most lizards can't be pursuit predators because they can't breathe and run at the same time. I don't know if varanids have that issue, and I don't know if mosasaurs would have had that issue. Especially since they would have been more tail-driven, I guess? I'm not sure. I'm confused. I'm confused and in pain, and I need more alcohol.
Dragons don't contradict the laws of biology. But what about their winged relatives? Dragons, described in various legends, may seem too bulky to be able to fly, and yet there are documented examples of quite large animals that could take off to the sky. The biggest of them are called pterosaurs, whose wingspan reached 10 meters. The secret lies in the ratio of the creature's weight to the size of its wings. Pterosaurs could weigh up to 250 kilograms. Their bones were partly hollow and just a few millimeters thick.
Oh, yeah, I was going to show. I think that's a Hesperornis.
Hategopteryx. Hategopteryx. Yes.
Thank you. But very close in size and related to Quetzalcoatlus, right? Quetzalcoatlus.
Yeah, they're both Ashdarchids, which, fun fact, Sorry, also my microphone flipped out. How do I sound?
Ask.
Well,
Go ahead.
echoey.
Yeah.
Sorry, how do I sound? My microphone flipped the heck out for a second.
No, you sound normal, I think.
Okay. Anyway, Quetzalcoatlus and Hategopteryx are both Ashdarchid pterosaurs. And Ashdarcho is a Persian dragon. So he's closer than he's ever been. But he's still wrong.
So, real quick. Dr. Kip Davis, who has never written a book, wants to know if all these animals died in the flood.
No.
Are these pre-diluvian organisms, Doc? Or are they antediluvian? Or no, antediluvian is pre-diluvian. Post-diluvian, I guess, would be the other alternative.
Both, because floods always happen. It's like asking if the elk I saw stapled to a tree once was anti or post-diluvian. And I'm not exaggerating when I say stapled to a tree. It got impaled on a pine tree from a flood.
That's a hell of a way to go.
So much pain.
Internal struts, just like an airplane's wings. Since the bones were air-filled, they were flexible and lightweight. As for dragons, their wings could be filled with, for instance, methane. This gas is lighter than air. That's why it would make even a creature...
Fart gas.
What?
Instead of farting, that fills its wings with the fart. Help it float.
Is he saying that dragons were living hot air balloons?
Basically.
Because that's the only way you're going to get anything worthwhile out of your goddamn wings. They're not going to look like this. They're going to look like bags attached to your arms.
Yeah, and then the dragon would have to, fart to come down. That's kind of fun, though.
Fart out of its fingertips. Sorry, Bree, complete side tangent. I just learned recently that there is a type of gecko that can spray sticky fluid from its tail to deter predators.
That's kind of awesome.
Wait, hold up. Say that again.
Tail like a video game monster. It's a gecko.
You said that it can spray sticky fluid from its sticky hole?
From its sticky holes in its tail. It has multiple holes, Vandy.
Now, when you say tail, is it like...
Tail.
Is this the tail
it's actual tail.
Like the speeder?
No, it is floppy and squishy because it is a cute little gecko. But it has this weird ability. This Pokemon-ass ability. This gecko knows string shot.
That is like velvet worm.
Guess what continent it lives on?
Australia.
Yeah.
Creature more massive than a pterosaur capable of flying. If the structure of dragon bones was indeed comparable to
that was very definitively the Godzilla roar, because anybody who watches Dapper Dino knows that.
There's been a few of those.
Large birds.
Well,
this could be the main reason
Godzilla
why.
had a dragon roar. I mean, because dragons, duh.
Or Godzilla was a dragon.
Ooh.
Can't find their fossilized skeletons. The point is, porous bones decay before they fossilize. That may be why we still have no direct evidence of their existence. But
if that were true, we wouldn't have any dinosaur bones either, though, because dinosaur bones are porous.
Or pterosaurs. Pterosaur bones are paper. They're actually paper.
Yeah. What do you got down there, Doc? I see you pulled something up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's if Maya's okay with sharing it. So yeah, this is the golden-tailed tailed gecko from Australia, and just watch what this tail do.
That is badass. It is like a velvet worm. Oh my gosh.
God,
That is exactly how the velvet worms do it with their little.
that's nuts.
I found out that this thing existed just the other day, and they're incredible.
Yeah,
They're a living Pokemon.
Bree, maybe don't boop its nose. Okay.
Yeah, it'll spray me.
Well, apparently,
Yeah, I'm
spray
kind of
smells
concerned about your health
awful.
here.
Like it smells rancid, but I think it's still
Ew.
really cool.
What about dragons' trademark ability to spit fire? Could this be a real biological feature? You'd be surprised, but
Anybody got Bombardier Beetle on their bingo card? Because I think that's where we're going.
No, don't rub it in. I forgot to
Probably.
give the video to Al. So
Aw.
there's the bingo enthusiasts are not happy.
Oh
Aw.
no. Sorry, you're
not only
starving.
can such animals theoretically exist, but they already do, side by side with us. Bombardier beetles can release bursts
God
of hot
damn it.
liquid from their
You know what? You know what Bombardier Beetles don't do?
Hmm.
Don't cause combustion.
Fire.
Yeah. There's no.
Oh,
They
sorry,
don't shoot
that's
fire
why
out
I
of
thought
their
of that
ass.
gecko. That thing that they spray out of their tail, if they just mixed it with a little bit of ammonia, it would be one of the most flammable substances on the planet.
Yeah.
It's incredibly flammable.
Yeah. There's peroxide and quinons. I think so you say it. That combine to make that that hot burst of hot liquid. So yeah, a little bit of. And young Earth creationists love the Bombardier beetle because they think it's proof that it had to be irreducibly complex or whatever. But all the
Yeah.
stuff that a Bombardier beetle has inside its little chemistry factory in its butt is present in other beetles at different levels, whether they're just spraying noxious chemicals or, all the pieces are already there for it in its closest relatives. I will continue the video now.
Oh, well, it's
Think about it, doesn't
I
every
thought
animal
we were
have
gonna
a
do like
chemical
half
factory in
the
its butt?
stream was me and then half the stream was you. And I know it's like a long video. Do you want to continue with this video or did you want to do your cryptid?
Yeah, we can just finish. We can just keep going with this video. That's fine, and we can do my video
Maybe
some other
1.5
time.
times.
That what?
You want to speed
Maybe
it up?
1.5 times.
Oh, real quick.
And we'll try to interrupt.
Since we have the oh my god, KTA's thing coming up in Kentucky, I told him that when getting closer to the date, I would help. Brie, I sent you a thing on Discord. Can you share? It's like just a little video.
While you do that, I'm gonna go stir my chili because I'm smelling it and it's smelling good.
Okay.
I want chili.
Let
No,
me
you don't.
grab
Hush.
this.
You can't read
You
my
want to know what I
mind.
have in it?
No, Bree's sharing things. It's fine. You eat.
I'm not eating. I'm just stirring it so it doesn't burn.
Maya,
You can do that too.
You can't just kick me off when there's not even a bingo square.
All right, Bree, what do we have? All right. Thank you so much, Bree.
I wish I could go.
I do too. I switched. Like I don't know. Oh God, weekend manager. Like I was weekend manager this week, and I wasn't supposed to be because somebody forgot that they were, and I'm just like, fine, whatever, you'll do my next one. And then same thing happened week of 4th of July, and I'm just like, nobody loves me. Sure, I'll be weekend manager. Why not? Um, and then
Well, we love you, Maya.
but then I get the rest of the year off to not have to worry about weekend manager, which is nice. But yeah, so I have to like go make money, but I will totally be there with you guys in spirit. And I need to like throw money at Joe if he needs it for anything, because it's a big deal. Like they hadn't had any ARC protest in a while, and the ARC is like pure anti-science and bullshit propaganda that's just taking money out of the pockets of hardworking Kentuckians, and the state's not doing what it should be doing with it. So for those that can't make it, please go down there, support the local businesses, let them know that you're atheist, let them know that you're Democrat, and let them know that you support them, because they're what do you call it? They're quote unquote God believing Republican representatives are not doing that for them.
Tell them to not listen to the propaganda.
All right. Are we ready? I didn't want to.
Right. Yeah, no. You're fine.
I'm not trying to like step on Joe's protest or anything.
No, I told Joe I would, when it got closer to the date, I would start sharing out his video.
Absolutely. All right.
Abdomen. The chemical compounds are stored in 2 reservoirs and a separate chamber where they're mixed. Dragon biology could work in a similar manner. It takes just one specific chemical reaction to start breathing fire. And it's not even the only way to get it done. Many animals, including humans, produce methane through anaerobic digestion. This gas is highly flammable, so instead of wasting it on useless burping, dragons could accumulate
what
methane.
Documentary he's taking this from.
Oh, what is it?
He's taking it from a mockumentary, so like a fake documentary, called Dragons the Body Found. I think it was made by the Discovery Channel in the early 2000s. It's actually a really fascinating fake documentary that explores the possible evolution and biology of dragons. It's actually really neat. I heard the UK version's better, but it's neat.
It was the same production company that made Walking with Dinosaurs.
Yes, but it was like a speculative evolution piece. And explicitly so. They didn't try to make it real.
Was it like that mermaid documentary that had the Kardashians?
Yes, except they were open about it being fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they didn't try to pass it off as real. It was had a fictional story writing. They were open about it.
You do get to see a dragon fight a T-Rex if you're into that, though.
Oh, multiple times, and you also get to see them dissect a dragon that was found in Iceland. It's actually a really cool watch. The whole thing's on YouTube. I would really recommend people check it out
if you like Spec Evo. Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
In internal reservoirs, and if necessary, unleash this potential with a more exciting purpose. But even though methane is so flammable, it needs to be ignited, doesn't it? But how? I doubt dragons were carrying around Zippos. But in fact, they could probably have something like lighters inside. Small silica and steel deposits on teeth would be enough to spark a fire. The lizard would need to snap its jaws one single time to release streams of blazing flames.
So I think it'd be much more likely that they would eat flint. Like they would, like how birds do gastroliths. That they would, if there had to be a way to ignite it, because like organisms don't always incorporate it into their biology, and sometimes have to get it. That's why, for example, baby koala eats his mom's fecal pap, because they need to get the biological need requirement.
The bugs, we do the same thing with like a breast milk. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo. It is past 4 a.m. here. I'm fading, so I'm gonna head out. Okay.
No, that's awesome. Thank you for coming by. Are you gonna be back on the show next week?
Yes, I am. I will I'm much more confident that I'll be on next week than I was that I'd be on this week, and here I am. So,
All right.
yeah.
Have
We'll see you
fun.
next week. Safe
You
safe
guys.
travels. And tell brother and brother's wife. Congrats on behalf of the
Congrats.
show.
Yo, Maya, I almost hit the end broadcast button again. But
Don't do that again.
Sorry. That was a legitimate mistake.
God.
See you guys.
I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, holy shit. Don't do that. Oh, you're DokDeino.
I don't know what happened there.
No, so I switched again and you are.
We can hear you, but you have my name on you,
Oh, god damn it.
and now I hear myself.
Do you hear yourself twice?
Testing. Just
Okay.
once.
Well, we have the oh, yeah, here. I'm just gonna do this.
Testing again. Still hearing myself.
Still
That's
hearing
weird.
yourself.
Do you want me to try rejoining?
No.
Okay.
Ah.
Bree, we
There's
see you
that weasel
flirting with the
guy
camera.
again. Yes.
And I don't hear myself anymore.
I'm
good.
preening because
But now you do. Okay. So we'll do this and this. You look adorable, darling.
Mhm.
Yas, queen.
Do this. But oh, here we go. We'll just
That'll
do
work.
But would this hurt the dragon itself? Saharan silver ants have a special tool for such cases, reflective bristles that cover their bodies like a metal suit. Thanks to this armor, ants can easily survive in an environment where temperatures rise to 70 degrees Celsius. And since fire-breathing dragons don't need to withstand heat from the flames all the time, this level of protection should be sufficient. This means that dragon anatomy doesn't conflict with the laws of biology either. Although there's one catch. As a matter of fact, evolution always
Only one catch, really?
Only one catch.
strives for simplicity. What's the point of creating such complex mechanisms and stuffing them all into one creature? None of them is an absolute must for survival, and their reliability is doubtful. Sharp claws and powerful jaws are more than enough for a successful hunt. As for self-defense, using long, strong tails as a weapon would do the trick. If born with a pair of wings, an animal may just spread them and fly away. That's why if dragons really existed, they would have died out very quickly and been replaced by more rational species. But anyway, let's
Rational species.
What?
What does that mean?
Replaced by more rational species.
What was that entire... What?
He's talking about dragons being OP and being they wouldn't survive. I don't know why.
Like the fact
not
that
how
they had
evolution works.
tails made them not OP or something?
I don't know. That was a really weird switch in directions, but this guy's been all over the place anyway.
Yeah.
Pain.
Let's imagine these legendary beasts were indeed real beings that survived all ice ages and mass extinctions and even avoided human violence. Would they be able to fit into our world? Since dragon myths can be found in all cultures, we can assume they lived all around the planet. They could probably have
It can assume. You just assume. All around the planet.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because it's the rule of cool.
I mean, are they really? I mean, I know they're in more than one culture, but a lot of the examples he's giving is of dinosaurs, which is different.
Or just fake shit. A lot of it's just fake shit.
A lot of it's just fake shit.
Fake shit indeed.
Inhabited Earth at the same time as dinosaurs when all the continents were a single landmass. As time went by, lithospheric plates moved. That could separate descendants of the same species, so
It's always weird to me when they say, hey, when dinosaurs lived and the world was a single landmass, because like only in the Triassic, right? Like Pangea really started like just coming apart.
Only really in the Triassic, yeah. And then the start of the Jurassic is when the Atlantic started to split. It was such a catastrophic... Sorry, I'm half drunk now. It was such a catastrophic event that it split the literal world in half and killed most of life on Earth. Like, this is a big thing. A pretty fucking big thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you talking about
And
the
then
Great
for the rest of
Dying
the
or
age of
the
dinosaurs, the world was
Jurassic?
split in half, and then it kept dividing in different ways.
Were you talking
And
about
sorry, my hand there was India leaving Antarctica and going up to Asia.
Oh,
Just no.
I want to get clarification. Are you talking about the Great Dying, or are you talking about the Jurassic extinction with the Deccan traps? I think it was.
Triassic, Jurassic.
Okay, and that killed what percent now?
I don't know the exact percent off
I'm
the top of my
quizzing
head.
you.
But
I'm sorry. I thought you just said. I'm sorry.
You're fine. At least 70, maybe 80. It was a lot.
Why is that
The Great
anti-magnetologist
Dying?
keep popping back in?
The Great Dying
I don't
wasn't
like
so
losing the
much.
chat.
The Great Dying wasn't so much Pangea splitting as it was Pangea attempting to split, and Russia ruined everything.
Russia always does that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to be the
They
one to
could
say
wind
it.
up in absolutely different conditions. As a result, flying, aquatic, and terrestrial dragon species could have appeared. Most probably, these animals would have naturally evolved as well as the rest of the vertebrates.
sorry.
That's
So
a
it's
big one.
idle to hope.
So to answer Claude Simeon in the chat, Triassic began 252 million years ago. Jurassic began, I want to say 202 million years ago. And Cretaceous started 145 million years ago and ended 66 million years ago, which is when T-Rex lived. Meaning that there is more time between T-Rex and Triceratops than there is between T-Rex and us.
And there's the Triassic. The important thing to remember also about the Jurassic and the Triassic and that split right there. The Triassic really wasn't dominated by dinosaurs. There were dinosaurs, but
the largest predators were gigantic terrestrial crocodilians.
some of them semi-bipedal too, so they looked kind of like theropods.
There is a museum piece, I'll see if I can find, that shows one of these crocodilians hunting an early sauropod, and it is horrifying. You can play while I
But someday you'll need a dragon looking like those CGI things. Feathered dragons would have lost their ability to fly just like present-day large birds. Even though they would have still had porous bones, in the course of evolution, wings would have gradually become smaller until there were no wings at all. Unable to fly anymore, dragons would have had no choice but to leave the mountains and settle in the plains to find alternative food sources. Over time, they would have stopped hunting and started feeding on snails, worms, and fruit.
Feeding on snails, worms, and fruit. Obviously, that's the evolutionary direction. Yeah, is that terrifying? Those are crocodiles.
Yeah.
What?
Those are dinosaurs.
This is a museum mount
God.
of these animals going after a sauropod.
The sauropod's a dinosaur, but the predators are not dinosaurs. They're crocodiles.
Yep. They're land crocodiles, and they're not the only ones Earth has seen. Humans just barely missed seeing the last terrestrial land crocodiles.
Mikosuchus?
They went extinct like 5 million years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they lived in South America. Oh, I found the picture of the museum mount. Here it is.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking of a completely different clade. I was thinking of the Mikosuchids from Australia and Oceania, because they did live until like super recent, and they were pretty terrestrial.
Humans did meet those. They met one called
Kinkana. You're talking about Sebekids, though, which is completely different. Oh, not completely different.
Those are South American ones.
Yeah, that's when you said the ones we barely missed, right? Because they were the last. Sebekids ruled South America for. I mean, they were the top predator there. I think they got replaced by terror birds, but.
But yeah, here, Kinkana. I'm not going to leave it up on screen too long, but that's Megalania. But yeah, the first arrivals to Australia met giant land crocodiles that hunted them alongside giant land wombats. Because why not?
And there were wombats who evolved basically into lions too in this time period. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They also hunted giant kangaroos that walked like humans. Australia was awful in the past. Modern Australians have it easy.
Okay.
Wamambi, is that the name of the snake? There was a gigantic, massive python.
I want to say yes.
Snake. Yeah.
Despite this, they would have still had muscular hind legs with claws and powerful beaks. Wait a minute, that totally sounds like a kiwi, just several times bigger. Such dragons would definitely be welcome on farms, as the eggs they'd lay.
Dragons evolved into kiwis.
No.
Keep up, Dr. Dino. Kiwis are the modern descendants of dragons. Or as we can call them, Dragonsauruses, because we now know that they were dinosaurs too. And Pterodinosaurus is because they were pterosaurs as well.
Lay could be even more impressive than those of ostriches.
I want to commit
now,
several
let's
crimes.
see what could happen to their aquatic relatives. Evolution would have equipped water dragons with fins instead of legs, or maybe their habitat would have made them completely limbless. At some stage of their transformation, these dragons would have gotten scales and sleek bodies to be more agile while moving underwater. Most likely, they would have existed on a diet of...
I don't know that that's like gravitationally possible.
And they became gars.
None of this is.
Alligator gars. Our
Hey, remember when, like, the last time you came on and you were like, no, Roger, my man can't take it. You didn't think I could do better.
Listen, Roger punches me in the heart when I like rocks. This is going for something more personal, and I hate it more.
Oh,
Please, can we talk about Roger and listen to him rant about penis stones?
Vagina caves.
Next time,
fish and small crustaceans, and lost the ability to breathe fire together with their limbs. Instead, these dragons would have used poison to hunt and fight for life in the ocean. They would have looked exactly like the olive sea snake. If you ask me, that's anything but a mighty sea beast that used to terrify sailors for hundreds of years.
It's so cute, though. Shut up. You be nice to my little friend. He's just doing his best.
I love sea snakes.
So, could evolution have been more lenient with terrestrial?
Bree, remind me later. There's a dinosaur game that you and I might want to play together because it lets you play as a giant sea snake.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
She's so there.
It looks like they could have been the only privileged species to save face. Terrestrial dragons would have walked on 4 legs and been the largest of modern lizards. These animals would have lived in deserts where they could still spew fire and make use of their razor-sharp teeth. If dragons hadn't become the top predators, they would have surely been dangerous hunters. They would have fed on medium-sized mammals and perhaps even attacked people.
Of course. Did you think you were going to escape it?
What?
I promise
What
you.
What is that?
I was lying to you?
What is... they're singing a song.
Or something.
This looks like...
Sorry, that image is just so bad it's funny to me. What the fuck am I looking at?
Like something you'd see at a heavy metal show in the 80s. Like a statue that breathes fire.
No, hey, you take that back. Heavy metal has a lot of great art.
The pyrotechnics are amazing.
I agree, but this is not.
Dragons. It seems that in the imagination of our ancestors, dragons looked much more majestic than they do through a prism of science. But what if I tell you that despite all I've just said, you still have a chance to meet a real dragon? One of them lives in the tropics and has a more breathtaking appearance than any fictional monster.
Are we going to talk about Komodo dragons now?
Or as the locals...
Ooh. Or as the locals call them, an aura.
Its body is long and blue with 2 pairs of
no, you are fun!
Its front feet resemble wings that branch out into
Wait. What is it?
It's a nudibranch.
It's a slug! This is a sea slug!
They said it was a dragon.
Clearly.
This is the blue sea dragon, which is a floating sea slug that eats Portuguese man-of-war.
Kind of a badass.
Cool.
Actually, no, very much a badass. But no, fuck you, you're wrong.
It's a dragon.
Smaller, but have appendages connected to the digestive tract. Next to the dragon's mouth, there are tentacles that help it capture prey. This animal can wait for a victim for hours, lurking in water so skillfully that nobody would ever notice it. This fearsome beast is blue sea
Minor
dragon.
PSA here.
Nice place to pause, right? Reminds me of the people holding the blue ring octopus. They're like, oh, what is this? It's so cute.
This is one of the most venomous animals on the planet, and this person has 3 of them on their hand. This person is either extremely lucky or about to die.
And they
do not touch this thing if you value your life.
So hopefully this is an AI person holding AI slugs.
And I'm going to
This
tell you
doesn't
that
look bad enough to be AI.
if
I know.
if you see an octopus with this coloration, also leave it alone. Though blue,
I heard blue is
ocean
deadly,
creatures.
right? Well,
If you
I mean
see
for
any
aquatic
brightly colored
animals.
animal, don't touch it.
Fair.
Probably a good idea to just leave wildlife alone anyway and not go
I
pick
mean,
it up.
yeah, and maybe
True.
not boop it on the nose.
Sorry, just holy shit. This is
Tiny
like someone
mollusk
trying to
measuring no
gargle
more
a
than
box
40 millimeters.
jellyfish.
Would
There
you
were
want to run
four.
into it
There
if
were
it were
four.
hundreds of
There were four.
There were four.
Yeah.
Four
And they're
beautiful
just like,
blue
oh,
sea
look, these
dragons.
look pretty. Like they're just holding rocks.
times larger?
Ah,
Oh wow.
Oh my god. All right, what do you think happened
no.
here?
I am
Oh.
not doing that.
Doc is not a happy camper.
Aw.
I want to say it went from bad to worse, but it was consistently awful. But that little bit at the end? Jesus Christ.
They're
Me
stuck Evo.
and Bree were not exaggerating there. Those things are incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
That person is lucky if they lived. Please do
I
not
mean, it
pick
looks
up
like they. Well,
animals.
I'd say it looks like they did. We don't know that they walked away from that.
You
I'm
don't die
assuming they were
instantly.
okay.
It takes time.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
and that
sent
was
them
my
back.
thing. We're assuming they weren't stung.
Oh,
Um,
But Bree,
Jesus.
I don't think I'm going to see you again before your birthday. So
hold on.
Another war. I can't wait to hear what this one's for. I can't wait to find out what will win. Bring evil to an end. Settle up the score. Another war. I can't wait to send our young and poor with promises of lower interest loans, manufactured homes. Ain't that worth killing for? And all them little people of the world, can't you hear them screaming out to sea? Promises of sweet democracy, raining down like bullets and debris. Another war. Hear that progress knocking at your door. Terrorists and savages beware. We'll bomb you till you're free. We'll starve you till you're fair. Another war. But after this there won't be any more. 'Cause finally the whole world will be free. Free to shop at any company store. And all them little people of the world, don't you hear them screaming out to sea? Promises of sweet democracy, raining down like bullets and debris. So finally the whole world can be free, just like you and me.
So yeah, that's from Carsey Blanton, which
Nice.
it's been a long 24-hour period.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
A little bit.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about war, but I don't think our audience needs to listen to that right now. Let's we gave you all a window of escape where we talked about fucking dragons. So I hope you guys had fun tonight. 2 hours
Are
of
we done?
2 hours of dragons and dinosaurs.
Yeah, that was the end of the video. We got through one. Holy shit! Like that never happens to us. I know. It's like, are we done? What?
Right. I thought you had another thing you wanted to cover, Maya.
No, that was the thing I wanted to cover. Bree has another.
I had another video, but I didn't want. We're at the 2 hours now, unless
Yeah. No, we're
Yeah, I
not
don't
going
waste
4
time.
hours.
You are.
No, we are not.
All right.
my other video was on Mokili Mimbe though, which I may just have to bring back next time I come on here though. So,
Did
which is
you want to do like maybe 5 minutes of it? Because I know you're like really excited about that. I think we touched on it
um,
once here, but
I mean,
I
we
haven't
can
really
watch
been doing
through it,
cryptids.
and if there's nothing to comment on, we can
No,
do something
no,
else.
it's like a
if you want.
20-minute video. Like it
oh,
would
I
take.
found a better one that's only 14 minutes.
We're not going through a whole video. You've got me for like some of us have to work in the morning. You've
Yeah.
got me for maybe another 15 minutes, and 5 of that's going to have to be you two shilling yourself.
Yeah.
There is also that paper I sent you if you're interested in that.
What paper?
The one where someone saw a cave painting and decided it was a
Oh, did
Permian.
you want to share that?
If you're interested in it, I can.
Yeah, no, we love science here. Despite what we the stuff
Alright.
that we showcase.
I will go ahead and share it then. Do-do-do.
Mm,
All right. So this is an actual paper published in the journal PLOS ONE last year that details a cave painting from South Africa that supposedly shows a dicynodont, a Permian dicynodont. And for the
No.
majority of people who are not familiar, that means it depicts a creature that is over 250 million years old
Oh,
on a
cool.
cave painting.
Oh,
It's real.
wait a minute. Okay.
So I'll go ahead and show a picture. So over here on the left is the cave painting. It's this weird orange, red, that like sausage looking thing. Here's the head of it over here. And I will just pull up a picture of what animal they think it is.
Like a Lystrosaurus? Is that what they?
Very close, but that's what I'm going to use for an image reference. Just because it has more art. This is what they think that art shows. And I'll just go between them again.
Oh,
I don't see it. It is not cute.
This
I
is
don't
an
see it.
actual fucking paper in PLOS ONE. This is a peer-reviewed article.
Why do they think that? So I haven't read the
Because
article yet. I'm just looking at what you're saying, and I don't see it.
So they think that because fossils of similar creatures are found in the area. Actually, in this picture, you can see the preserved foot of one of them with skin impressions, which is actually really cool. A partial skeleton, and a skull that partially shows the tusks that this animal would have had at the front of its mouth, right here.
So is the theory that that people who did this art found the fossils and did a art piece of the fossil? Or are they trying to claim
That is the idea, yes.
Okay, because if they're saying that these people actually saw a Lystrosaurus or some other kind of Permian, this thing's actually closer related to us than it is to dinosaurs, though. But
True. But that is what the paper is saying. They think that some pre-modern humans, actually, I'm not sure when exactly they say. Sorry, the painting's dated in the early 1800s, so not pre-modern. But they're saying that people saw the skull of one of these critters and did art based on it, creating a floppy mustache-looking seal creature.
I'm not even certain that that's not just something in its mouth. That this isn't a monitor lizard eating something.
You know, that's also a valid interpretation. But that's
Like-
not the one that this paper goes with. And I brought this up to Maya, because I am certain that as soon as a creationist sees this publication,
Oh God, it's a matter of
they're
time.
gonna have a field day with it, and
Why?
it's gonna hurt.
Look, for
And
we got $5. Can we do Mokili Mimbe and a Stegosaurus of Toprom and maybe Cyclops, elephants, and Sicily? So next time I'm on Bad Science Sunday, we will continue our trek with through the living dinosaurs. We will
I mean,
tackle those. Okay.
All right,
I mean,
we'll
Bree,
totally
how
do.
late
Is
are you
it
okay staying up
Michele
tonight?
Membe? Is that how you pronounce that?
Mokele Mimbe. Yep.
All right.
Bree,
Just for
how late are
you.
you okay staying up tonight?
Well, I have to after this. Well, I got to go. Ben did a interview that he wants me and Bo to review, so I will be gone for about an hour. What do you have in mind? Are you going to
Okay.
stream?
Just
Are you
wanted
gonna
to
stream?
scream and talk about Michele and Bembe and stupid cryptids and stuff.
Oh, Doc's
Um,
all about that. That is. It really is a separate stream, though.
yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
why I'm asking.
There's a lot to say about it.
Doc hasn't streamed in a while, so I mean,
Yeah. I
I've
could come on your
I've
stream
been
in a little
busy
bit,
working,
but
sadly. I've been working
I
quite a bit.
yeah. We're all plebes. I get it.
And
you want to.
I mean, I want to stream a bit more, but
Yeah,
I
I can
don't
come
really
over,
have
but I won't
time
be able.
these days.
I won't do it. I won't be able to do it right away, but I can probably come stream with you. Like if you want to do a late night stream tonight, I don't got anything going on,
I
but
don't know.
it's if you want to schedule something in the future though, we can do that.
Yeah, future could be fun.
I love talking about living dinosaurs.
Morning,
Yeah.
Mark. Well, it's almost afternoon for Mark. Mark Reed will be on when. So if anybody is driving home from after the Ark encounter, Mark Reed's going to be on with me, and we're gonna. I don't know.
All right, hold on.
For
Before
that long drive.
can I at least do this one thing before
Sure.
we go? It's only 2 minutes. This is Mokili Mimbe. This is the most recent sightings. Totally
Oh,
AI,
Jesus.
right?
Oh God.
I like that one.
What the hell is that? What is it?
Bad AI. Look at that guy.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Half of these look like Crystal Palace dinosaurs.
Look at that guy.
Oh my God.
He became a fish for a second. Some of them look more like crocodile.
That is a Crystal Palace
That was a
dinosaur.
Crystal Palace dinosaur right there. Hold on, let me see.
What's a
Pause
Crystal
that.
Palace? What's a
Crystal
Crystal
It's
Palace.
the Crystal Palace Megalosaurus. That's what that is.
Yeah, so in the
What is that?
in the mid 19th century, when they were just starting to understand dinosaur bones and anatomy, and they didn't quite know what any of these animals looked like, this artist did this stone reconstructions, these big concrete reconstructions of Iguanodon, Megalosaurus,
And a bunch of other things.
Anatosaurus, yeah. But the two big ones were the Iguanodon and the Megalosaurus. The main thing about them, though, is that they were all depicted as like quadrupeds. So Megalosaurus, which is like a theropod dinosaur, it walks on two legs, like a T-Rex, I guess is the best way to describe it. But they gave it a wolf-like build for this reconstruction. So it was like a giant reptile wolf. It was, which is what we're looking at here. And they were all semi-aquatic. Everything back in these in this pre-Diluvian Dark Age was semi-aquatic at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know.
That
Anyhow,
nuts.
Cursed. That's awful, though.
That was kind of a cool ass video, though.
No.
I'm sorry, were you saying something, Doc?
I just said no.
Oh, it's like nah.
Uh,
Let me think. Okay, so Bree, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up?
I am Bree. My channel is Hive Sci. I have a weekly show on Saturday mornings called Live from the Hive, where I do stuff like kind of like this, but with more. I focus on cryptids and ghosts and aliens and all sorts of stuff like that. And I debunk it, scrutinize it. We have fun. We joke around. It's a lighthearted show. And we also release the segments throughout the week. So if you don't want to get up that early on Saturday, you can still catch me at like I do Cryptic Corner on Friday nights is when that premieres, and then Weekend Weird is right now it's on Wednesday. So other than that, I'm also the co-producer of the Transpositions Weekly, which is a show where we bring you news as it relates to the transgender and gender nonconforming communities around the world. We try to bring you something positive every week as well. There's a lot of gloomy topics going on right now, but we'll try to bring you something good, something positive, something to help you feel good. And we are the only network covering in-depth sports specifically for trans athletes. So if you're interested in that, Carly's amazing.
Carly is. She's pretty awesome.
A lot of
And
charisma. Mm-hmm.
Doc, who are you? Where are you? And are you ever doing anything again?
Well, first, hello. I am DokDeino, or Doc for short. I am a paleontologist currently doing research out in the Badlands of Wyoming. I also run a YouTube channel here on YouTube, and unfortunately, content on my channel has had to take a back seat for a little bit because I've been having some severe car troubles, and I can't do much field work while my car's out of business, so I've been working extra hours to save up money for a new one. If you would like to help cut that time a little shorter, I do have a GoFundMe in the description. Of course, don't donate money if you can't afford it, but until my car is back up and running, I can't continue my research, and I won't have much time to make stuff on YouTube, like do streams like this or a lot of videos that I'm trying to make. And unfortunately, that's just kind of my situation now. I might have a video out soon, actually, about me and some other paleontologists reviewing the new Walking with Dinosaurs. Spoiler alert, it is awful, so might be something coming out soon about how much it made us suffer, but except for
You still
that,
doing stuff with the boneheads too?
those are my friends, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, my channel is sort of on a pause until I can get things back up and running.
Al, I can't believe you're still awake. Al and Ember I'm used to them signing off really early. I can't believe they're still up.
Yeah.
How about you, Maya? Anything for your channel?
I don't think I have anything planned until next week. Next week we do have let me think. So I finally got a hold of Dr. Josh, who has agreed to lose some amount of sleep to be on to go over Zacharias Sitchin's. And it was the one thing I wasn't able to kind of slough off, right? When I was kind of going through my deconverting stage, it was just like, oh my gosh, what else are they lying to me about? And I went into everything, and it was like flat Earth was the one thing that was just like so crazy that it was like, oh, right, the sky is blue. And then it kind of took me out of like the whole like conspiracy theory, I don't know, side of YouTube. But it was actually getting reacquainted with the science. Like, what are the facts? What are, you know, what are not
Yeah.
facts? Which brought me over to the skeptic community. And, from there, it's history. But the only thing that I like when I even doing a search for like ancient anything, everything would turn you back to Zechariah Sitchin. I could not find, outside of SitchinWasWrong.com, I couldn't find anything that was like just actually getting to him being a liar or a fraud or stupid, whatever whether it's liar, lunatic, or lord, whatever you want to believe about him. Dr. Josh, the Digital Hammurabi channel was the first channel that actually addressed it directly, for one, and then started pointing me into the direction of other scholars and other places I could go for qualified scholars that could lead me into that era. So I kind of want to give back to the community what the community gave to me next week. So I'm really excited about that.
Sounds like a fun time.
We'll see. But I talked to a few weeks ago when the whole thing with Myth Vision was going on. I was talking to Dr. Josh and Dr. Kip about things, and it was just such a seamless conversation. It felt like we had known each other forever. So I hope that translates, onto the stream. It wasn't like
I heard Dr. Josh has written books. That's what I heard.
Dr. Josh has written at least one book. I don't know. What does Master Confirmant have to say about that?
I think I have one of Dr. Josh's books around.
I do too. It's on my Kindle though.
Oh, it's in the we got a atheist bookshelf in the living room. That's where it is. I'm not gonna go chase it. Yeah. Ben has a lot of books.
I'll bet.
Yeah,
I'll bet.
I only have a few.
Nice.
So and then Dr. Kip Davis, who has written no books, has a book coming out soon. He's working on stuff and shit to finish that up, and we'll see how it goes. Jillian is still in the chat. Jillian, I believe there's only one final chapter. It won't be like I don't know if you guys saw Dapper's. He was it Bodie? I forget the guy's last name. He had a final chapter.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, he had a final chapter, and then there's another conclusion, and then the appendix had an introduction section, and I was like, oh my God, this is another final chapter. It was just, it was nuts. And I'm like, who the fuck puts an introduction in the appendix? Are you serious right now? Who published this book? Oh, it was you, wasn't it? Oh, God damn it. It was bad. It was just, the whole book was bad. Suffice it to say, Dapper was going over it. So I guess.
Of course it was bad.
You would have, you would assume it was bad. Bodie Hodge, thank you, Holly. And Holly, Jillian, who else was in there? Can you agree that it was God, that was a goddamn shit show. That book was horrible.
I am thankfully unfamiliar.
Don't find the book. I think Dr. Kip Davis has gone on to do other things. But none of those things are writing a book because he has written none.
No books.
No books. I'm sorry. It really bothers him. But I find it hilarious that he put a clip of that together. Out of all the wrong things that were said about him during that video, I probably, you know what? I'm not surprised that was the one that he pulled out, because I think it's it's not these are big books. He put a lot of his life into these, and Neil's just smacking it out of his hand, nope, no accomplishments here to see, folks. Keep walking.
Oh dear.
Well, I'm excited to see Dr. Josh on. Is this going to be his debut on Bad Science
Sunday? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, and Dr. Kip's going to be on because Dr. Josh is not convinced that he'll be able to stay up until 11:30 with us. So, if that doesn't happen, Kip will.
Did we have Megan on here though? Maybe
I've not had Megan on here.
Mm-hmm. What am I remembering?
That was your stream, Bree.
I don't know.
You had Megan on.
I've had Megan on.
Yes.
I've had Josh on too.
You're remembering your own shows.
Thank you.
All right, so that's what we have coming up. Did you guys want to say anything before we go?
Have a good day and never stop learning. And don't listen to young Earth creationists. They always tell lies.
All right.
Also,
And
this channel was shit. I hate them. That is all. End PSA.
That is all. And also, be true to yourself, not who you were told to be. Bye, guys.